You want this back or what?
Gentlemen from your left, let's be quiet and listen to these beautiful four Merlin engines. The Royal Air Force, founded with the memorial flight, Lancaster, City of Lincoln. People will tell you the best commentators are the ones that shut up. I'm a good commentator because I know when to shut up. Do not talk over that aircraft. So Lancaster PA474 is one of only two Lancasters remaining in airworthy condition out of the 7,377 that were built. It was built at Nicholas Armstrong Walking Factory, Ayr completed in May of 45, so the war in Europe ended a few weeks earlier before that. The aircraft was modified and shipped off to the Far East for operations there. 48 to February 52 on conversion to what's called the conducted aerial survey mapping work in East and South Africa. About 2,000 flying hours.
How long is it until my birthday?
So after its aerial survey mapping work with East and South Africa, Lancaster was then loaned to flight.
Again, snap on the aircraft is going up and pulling hard back in this 5-point harness. If you're sitting inside the aircraft, you're not actually sitting like a traditional pilot would be. The aircraft is built so that you're leaning back. You've got about 15 to 20-degree pitch back into the seat. And that sort of dissipates the G-load. There's no hydraulic systems on these aircraft. It's all cable. And it keeps the weight down. So that means you want a big control column because it can give you more leverage. So you're reaching up. It's almost like your hands are level with your chest. So you're putting back and moving natural right. It's a little bit unnatural, but you can get used to it. Again, good demonstration of how the weight ratio of the aircraft will just stay in the hole there. But unlike the pit special that we saw that could hover, this aircraft still has. We've got a fixed undercarriage. Early versions we're talking about putting a drop version on hydraulic systems and all that. carry that around. But unlike most of this is sporting a wonderful pair of floats underneath. The floats are what I call a grip line 23550A. And I'll be totally honest with you, I don't actually know what that means. Not been in the float on airplanes, but apparently they're like top of the line amphibious floats on the water in air. Now of course because it's seawater, that's not good for aluminium. So once he does this, he has to get back across it, and the first thing he's going to get out is his jet wash. And he's going to jet wash all of that seawater off the floats pretty much immediately. Pretty corrosive stuff for that. So ideally he'd be landing on a lot. So here he comes, toppling back. The flaps I'm sure will get full extension. To slow it down. I'm going to make a check rise. I think there's about 60 knots or something. You can get these things down to. Okay, it's approaching the water. It's very shallow descent, not surprised, but watch the step. You see how he's keeping the aircraft powered up, not letting it settle. And then power, 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 back up on the step, back into the airplane. Not a good feel on that, it's about 15 degrees to me. So, he obviously really wasn't going to come to a complete stop. But that is a first for me. A splash and go. So as I said, the trick is to keep the float half in, half out of the water. Once you go into what he calls displacement mode, and the aircraft sinks down, it's not a disaster, but it means that you've got along the surface of the water. So what we're trying to do is keep it so it's just the tip of the amphibious float in the water and just skim along it, which we did beautiful first time. But was it luck? Can you do it again? Okay, well I've just been listening on the water and Hamish has said we can do one more, so I've got a taste for it now. We've got to clean the airplane now anyway, so he might as well. So he's going to come back and do third and final flash and go for us. And then he'll come in and do one final run through as well.
As I was saying, Hamish is passionate about supporting UNICEF, so do have a look at Seaton the Duck. You can see him peeking out the window of the cabin. He's their mascot. He's decided he started training the next generation of rubber ducks, and Seaton and 50 of his colleagues have set up for Portsmouth in September last year on a yacht called Perseverance, part of the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race. 10 months and 4,000 to 5,000 nautical miles later they sailed to Oban, and they were then auctioned off. And as I said, he raised a large amount of money from Seaton the Duck. So if you want to win a flight for this aircraft, you can donate to the UNICEF. You can do that by sponsoring Seaton. Have a look on the QR code in today's program. Okay, here we come. Final touch and go. Flash and go, sorry. Holding off a little bit longer this time. Perfect. Landing just forward the step. Taking the throttle a little bit lower, so it can't be, just keeping it going. And there we go. Power back on. Pull up the rear speed. Keeps it max 15.
So number 4 is now going to come and join up the rest of the formation, and they're going to position themselves into the Concord formation. So watch as they join back up in Concord. We're going to come back in for what's called the final roulette break. So get your cameras ready for the final time for the Gazelle formation. So clearly indicate the Concord. So the team leader calling all the aircraft back into position. Watch for number 4 gets in position. We're going to come back in the B axis, and by that I mean straight towards it. I remember seeing Gazelles armed with the early version of the Maverick missile as well. So here they come, ladies and gentlemen. The Gazelle team. As I said, it's a pretty fast helicopter as well. Normally helicopters will be cruising around 140. That's pretty average speed for your helicopter. These can cruise at about 164 miles per hour, and the maximum speed 193. And it still to this day holds the record for the fastest single-engine helicopter ever manufactured. The team operating on the base at landing airfield near Wantage is currently made up of ex-Army Air Corps, Royal Marine and Royal Navy pilots. Additionally, the team is very lucky to have a volunteer crew who give up their time throughout the year to assist in bringing these fantastic aircraft to the display circuit. Of course, none of that is going to be possible without the generosity of the owners of Falcon Aviation. And if you do get to look at these aircraft close up, you will agree they are an immaculate presentation and arguably the best condition of transport cosmetically and when we were serving on the services. I'll talk about the helicopters and the pilots in the presentation. All of the pilots, of course, united in the love of the aircraft. The Gazelle has a reputation of being incredibly powerful and responsive, no real devices to speak of. Considered to be a true pilot's aircraft, with a lot of the pilots christening the aircraft the E-type Jaguar of the sky. So down at Foston down between 91 and 2016. So a long career down there. And number 2 on the right of that diamond formation, that's an ex-Royal Air Force HT3. Originally revealed as XZ934, which was sold into civilian use in 2002. I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, why do you have the registrations of the aircraft? That's not really relevant, is it? Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that have either worked on that aircraft or some have even flown it, and until I tell them on the microphone, hey, that's XZ934, they won't realise, wow, that's the aircraft I used to work on. Well, that's a really nice company. So that's why, as a matter of course, we always give out the aircraft registration of the aircraft that is going hopefully. If someone will reach out, so we can have their time and service as well. And then number 3, on the left side, that's an ex-Royal Navy HT2 from 705 Scotland, Royal Naval Air Station, Colgrove. This had the registration of XW857 and was used by the Sharks display team. So the Sharks were the rotary version of the Red Arrows back in the day, flying in the 1985 season. And number 4, bringing up the rear, at the back, is the original Royal Navy Squadron 705, machine built back in 1975. Today's pilot, Kev Madison, enjoyed his first helicopter solo flight in that exact aircraft back in June of 1983. Nice high wing, you can get into the field, you can take rough landing. It's pretty big inside as well. So the citizen line, as I said, is a high wing monoplane. Pilot, 3 passengers. On Raven solid field, it's ideal suited, so with that high wing, it's got a very thick core, so you can see the distance on the wing. It's got a very good loiter speed, so you can pull back on that throttle, just cruise along, eke out your fuel, perfect for communications, backfield communications, just moving around. 81 years old, I believe, in June this year. Very, very modern looking aircraft when you think it's 80 years old. He's the latest acquisition for Navy wings. He's the ideal large wheel training aircraft as well for a pilot, that together with harvest. So you will do some time on the Chipmunk first, and then you'll move on into the harvest or onto the Reliance as well. If you do get a chance, have a look at navywings.org.uk, because without your support, it really is going to be difficult for Navy Wings to continue to fly and inspire and remember these aircraft. As I said, it's a registered charity. It's taken on the role of preserving this flying. Cameras ready. Western Boss XT435. And on his left, that beautiful sensor Reliance. And on his right, the last dimension from the Harvard. And then follow behind, and forward as well. And the aircraft are going to bend out. Turn around and come back to face it from right to left. And of course, we were hoping to have the Black Cats here this weekend, the official Royal Navy helicopter display team. But as a mark of respect to the Royal Navy helicopter display team, and the colleagues within the Royal Navy, they are withdrawing from the International Air Show, and of course you understand why, because of the incidents in the channel this weekend. Understand the decision on the tragic incident in the English Channel earlier this week. a fantastic way to open the flying display here today. Now watch the gazelles will peel off. They're going to head back, land, refuel, and they'll be back later on this afternoon. They're going to be displaying about 20 past 4 this afternoon. You can hear that rasping engine from the harbour. That's the tip of the propeller going supersonic. They look big, trust me, inside, they're not all moving to the ground. And my favourite aircraft up there is that Sensor. That is a beautiful, unique aircraft. Also break up and they'll do individual displays. As they watch as they come in on 45. Dave's going to call the break. And look at the position the ladies have. Call it the slope. The girls have now turned upside down. That's their legs sticking up in the air, not their arms. See how they rotate. Note to spin back around now they're the right side up. So, watch as they position into the center. Come straight back towards us. Get ready? That was 45 cross. Now we're going to get into an opposition rejoin. So, it's been pretty spectacular. It's nice to see the ladies on top waving. But you think, okay, so they're pretty safe up there. They're strapped to the top of that aircraft. They're not going anywhere. How hard can it be? Coming up in a couple of minutes, the aircrafts are going to keep on flying, and the ladies are going to unstrap themselves from the top of the wing and start moving to the front of the wing. We're going to sit down. That's right, they're going to sit down on the top of the wing of the aircraft as it's flying along. So a little bit of height first. The ladies invert themselves, still strapped into the harness. Watch this. Strapped upside down, diving down. Rolling upside down. And up the other side. Can you imagine going from that job interview? Yes, what we want to do is, I'm going to put you on top of the wing and I'm going to roll the aircraft upside down. Well, yeah, that's a great idea. No, no thank you. So, as I said, the ladies now really have had much, I think, as they can take of being thrown around on top of the wing. So keep an eye on them, because very shortly you're going to see them start to unstrap themselves. Now you can see they're clearly still in the harness. So both ladies are qualified in this that we do. Have a close look now as they come high. Give them warning because they can see as they sit on top of these Boeing steermans. Give them away. Now, I'm not happy with just sitting on the front of the aircraft. So you can see how they're back up, but instead of being in front of the harness, they're actually behind it, standing on the top of the cockpit. Now for the third class, we're going to come back and stand on top of the fuselage and demonstrate.
In the average family car. So display on. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. The aerobatics wing-walking team. Now once the wing on top, by the way, they volunteered to do this. They weren't forced into it. There was a selection process. They freely agreed to go on top of that wing. And the noise you're going to hear at the tips of the propellers really soon. So, Dave Barrett's at the aircraft. Look at the girls now, they're upside down. Up around. That's Dave talking. You can see how the girls just swivel around there. Wanting to come straight towards us.
And we'll get ready to take.
Now, as I said, we're setting ourselves up for the opposition parts now. And now, we're calling out left to right. The stroke pilot feet have come down. Pitch the aircraft down, build up on the speed. And then pull back on the stick. Up into the bump. Push back down on the stick. And watch the speed off. Feel free to wave back. One upside down, one right way round. Right. Go! Especially with the sun just setting, Isle of Arran off in the distance. Even some boats have come in to have a look. It is free, so they're allowed to park out there. Now, as you can see, the aircraft performing opposition rejoin. The front cockpit removed, obviously, with the girls going in and out. And you can see now, once the aircraft pitch up, look where the girls are. At the front of the wing, they come off the harness. Top wing. So you see how they're out of the harness and waving. They're actually standing on top of the weight behind the harness. Again, these ladies interviewed for this role really are athletes. Obviously I know that the whole team and the girls spend a lot of time in the gym, but they have a lot of upper body strength to do these sorts of movements. So look at the shape they're taking. Standing on the fuselage, holding on to the leg in the arabesque pass. I would be calling an ambulance if I tried to do that. On the way for the last time. The aerobatics wing walking team. Excellent job. See the girls waving? They can definitely see you. Don't try, wave back. And I'm sure we'll see you very, very shortly. Don't forget, they're going to be back tomorrow as well. So if you like what you saw and you want to come back tomorrow and see more of it, then they'll be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming very shortly to the final routine, but next is the penultimate act. Everybody on Instagram has
So here it comes. Waving forward back. All the flight training the pilot tells you that should be able to do that. That aircraft should be stalling and falling out of the sky. But because it's got those turbines on it, that means he can do something that defies basic rules of aviation. And here he comes back in for his last pass. He heads back for a well-deserved rest. Richard Goodwin and the jet test. Again, I couldn't even get it's called the last pass, as in it goes past us. But because he's got those turbines, it really was the last climb. Just straight up into the vertical, and at the top, just push the nose forward and move out. Amazing. Okay, that is Richard Goodwin and the jet jets. Big thanks to him. We'll be heading back down to Gloucestershire Airport today, while the weather is good. This is going to do reports too, but in there, he actually times those reports through. Normally reports through is going through, because as you're turning, you're watching off speed, but because it's got all that extra power, you can actually accelerate into the course through and go up at the same time. Again, only this aircraft can do this, or only the pits with the jet turbines on board can do this. Now watch it tumble down. Amazing control. Coming back in on 45. Now the outside negative G. So you've got positive G that keeps you pushed down into your seat. When it does that, inverts the aircraft and pushes out. That's negative G. So instead of blocking wings, so in effect he has 4 ailerons doing a snap roll. He's got a roll rate of over 360 degrees a second. Literally like being inside a washing machine. In 1 second he's got 1.5 revolutions around. Now Richard keeps the aircraft inverted, so he's upside down, hanging on, with 5-point harness. Clearly the light coating engine is reversal fuel feed system. Snap rolling, now watch is going to engage. Watch those turbines come back online. That is very fast into the vertical. And normal pit special would not be climbing that fast. It's right up there with the Typhoon. That means you could bring the aircraft on the back, and then you'll be pushing out into the bump, and now when the aircraft will start stalling because there's not enough air going over the wing, but because he's got all that extra power and just pushes the button, quick rolls the aircraft all the way down. Richard does a lot of time in the gym. Finally turned really off. Now watch as he pulls the aircraft around, that full body G-suit, maximum pressure at the moment as he's countering that 90 turn. Rolling the aircraft around, back into reading. Rapidly climbing into a half horizontal. Turn out and see afterburners coming back on. See them switching every couple of seconds. These aircraft have three computers on board that are all talking against each other, so two to that pilot to one. Basically all three agree this is a good speed. I think it's 14,000 per second.
decisions to be made. So fly-by-wire system pretty quickly making sure that the slowest aircraft can go without making it explode. And with a high alpha attack, we still generate light. The aircraft as it comes back around. In good landing conditions, this is a good photographic opportunity. Pitches the aircraft around. The blood rushing down, it's actually coming up into your head. Very, very uncomfortable. You just can't concentrate. Screaming back in right in front of us, then he's going to pitch the aircraft up and go straight up into the vertical. Give him a wave as he goes. Don't forget the Royal Air Force represented here down in the village. Go see them. Maybe one day this will be you. 12,000 feet, here we come. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic display. So, now